buenos dias, and welcome back to Seville for the last time. We thought, I know, sorry about that, but I thought we'd just check in quickly before we left. There's a few things we wanted to talk about. This is actually the roof of the terrace of the apartment, the Airbnb that we're staying in, and down there the bull ring is just about there somewhere. The river's just behind it. You can probably hear the bells ringing. Over that way is one of the big towers that the more modern structures that there are around the Science Park, which was built for another expo, I do. But they seem to have a lot of expos here, don't they?
Well, just an excuse to put another beautiful building up.
Yeah. So I mean, I know that some people have got divided opinions about Airbnbs and how they spring up and change the way that people live in cities and stuff, and I totally get that. But we've had some great experiences within all the different places we've been, because the thing I like is that you end up in a neighbourhood like this. Or especially in Haarlem, no, going back to a different holiday there, Haarlem near Amsterdam, there weren't any hotels that we saw. So there's any way that we could stay with the locals, and it is a good way of getting into the local way of life straight away, because you're automatically mixing with the local people. Like
and the
people,
apartments have been so different, haven't they?
Definitely.
They reflect where they are.
Yeah, and you meet the local people, even the people putting their washing out here, up on the terrace here, who live here, and you meet the owners as well, so you get to meet that sort of thing. But anyway, a couple of things. One of the things I wanted to mention was oranges, because we've been talking about oranges. I mean, I was talking about oranges when I was in Morocco because they tasted so good, but they taste really good here as well. And I still can't get over that novelty of seeing oranges and lemons growing on trees, and there they are, and you can just pick one off the trees.
I think the locals say they're bitter to stop the tourists picking the oranges.
But yesterday, actually, in the park, Marie-Louise, yesterday, I thought, right, I'm going to pick one of the oranges off the trees here in Seville and see what it's like. It was very, very juicy. It had loads of pips. But yes, it was a bit bitter. It was quite sharp. It actually tasted like a grapefruit, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
So it's not that bad, actually. But
they look so beautiful in the trees.
Oh, they do.
Should stay there.
But they're absolutely. I mean, we bought them from market stalls. You know, the ordinary oranges, if you want to call that, are absolutely amazing. So, anything you wanted to add before I start rabbiting again?
My turn. Yeah, I just want to say one thing. I was thinking, I knew you'd say to me, what's your lasting impression? And I wanted to go back.
What is your lasting impression, Julie, of Seville?
Oh, I actually wanted to go back to the Byron quote I mentioned when we first arrived about Seville being a pleasant city of oranges and women. And
I'm just talking about oranges, yeah.
I think that Seville is a woman. You know, some cities are very masculine. I think Seville is a woman.
Okay,
and
I
think she
probably why I like it so much.
I think she's a quietly elegant woman. She's very self-assured. She's getting more beautiful with age.
Yeah.
And I also think that she's one of those women where the more time you spend in her company, the more you fall under her spell.
And she also likes to dress up and party.
That too.
And there is that sort of Hastings element here. We've been talking about it, different things. Because one of the things actually, we've been going around, because they're building up to the Semana Santa, the big Easter celebrations here in Seville, which are huge. You may well have seen some of the videos or photos of some of the processions, because they have processions, I think, basically from every sort of church, and there are hundreds of churches around here. And we've actually found an exhibition the other day which showed you some of even little scale models of the procession routes and the things that they carry
floats.
around. The float, that's the word, the floats that they take out of the churches. They take out the huge idols of Mary or the Virgin Mary, etc. And then you get these guys dressed up in the old, what we would look at as Ku Klux Klan outfits. But over here, they are just religious outfits. And I think we saw yesterday that the reason they wear them is so that they can't be identified when they're praying, because they're praying for penance, presumably for things that they've done that they don't want people to know about, and that's what they're praying. But every church, every brotherhood, as they call them, actually has a different uniform. It's a bit like the old bonfire societies or Morris dancers in Sussex. They all have a slightly different uniform, so they all march around or process around the streets. That must be absolutely amazing, because some of the churches that we've wandered into have been absolutely stunning. I mean, yes, there's a lot of gold and silver, and I've talked about that sort of thing, but if you have that sort of faith, this must be one hell of a town to be in at that time, or any time actually. So it's quite touching, actually, humbling to go into these churches.
Yes,
we actually walked into one yesterday when there was a mass going on. We didn't realise, but that was quite something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Felt as though you was a bit intruding, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. But it was lovely to see, and it's the soul all of the
Yeah,
community.
it's part of the city.
Spain.
Part of the city, as are the oranges. And another thing I must mention is Magdalenas, the cakes, the little cakes,
Which we finished.
which my kids Ben and Hannah will know about, because I've been coming to Andalusia for about 15 years now, one way or the other. Used to come here with the family, with the kids, and we used to buy these little Magdalena little cakes in bags, and we just polished off the bag last night, didn't we?
Yeah, well, we couldn't carry them home. There wasn't much room in the suitcase.
No. So any final thoughts before my arm's getting tight?
You're getting what?
My arm's getting tight. Is that 10 miles of walking? No, I wasn't walking on my hands, but...
No, just thank you for showing me your city.
Well, that's been an absolute pleasure. It's been great. Thank you very much, and I've no doubt I shall be back here again soon, and I wonder where we're going next.
Who knows?
Ooh, I wonder. Adios from
Hasta luego.
Seville. Still going. I better turn it off.